The Toronto Raptors have traded away one of their top 905 prospects, and I'm a little bit shook up about it. So we'll discuss that in this video, including an important Raptors schedule update, as we're coming up in probably the most important stretch of the season for this Raptors team. And we're also giving away a couple of tickets for one of these games in this video. So stay tuned for that. And the Bleacher report has come out and said the Toronto Raptors are currently in panic mode with one of their recent articles, so we'll take a look at that and a whole bunch more in this video. So without further ado, let's jump to the first topic of discussion. First thing we're taking a look at is the Raptors trading away prospect Reggie Perry. Now, avid listeners to the Raptors Digest know that there's one guy on the Raptors 905 that I'm a big fan of, that I enjoy watching. Don't catch many of I haven't watched a lot of the Raptors 9 full games, but I'm always watching the highlight clips posted to YouTube. The one guy I love following, that was formerly on Raptors Summer League teams and Raptors preseason teams, right, is Reggie Perry, who's a guy, he's 22 years old, he's a really strong athlete, he finishes inside the lane really well, shoots a lot of threes, but not at the greatest percentage, but is a capable jump shooter, where he takes enough to where that could potentially develop, and it's good on the defensive end, 6'8", 22 years old, fits our timeline, fits our sort of mold of a traditional Raptors player. It just seemed like the type of dude that really we should groom and grow to be a guy that's actually on the main roster going forward. I mean, that's the point of the Raptors 905, the G League teams, to develop talent, keep them in your system, and then hope that they blossom into a guy that can produce for the main roster. And you look at his stats, right? He's put up some really solid stats since 2 seasons with the 905. This season averaging 21 and 7. 3.3 assists a game. Again, the 3-point percentage isn't too hot. It's regressed from last season even, but, he scores in the paint. He gets a block, a steal a night. He does his thing out there, right? He does his thing out there, and we trade him away. We traded him away because, according to Blake Murphy, news has come out the Raptors are trading away to Windy City for RJ Nembhard. And RJ is a guy that, is guard, plays the guard position, right? 6'5". The stats aren't as eye-popping as Reggie Perry's, right? Again, smaller sample sizes than a full, NBA season, but 12 points per game, 4.5 assists, 3 rebounds there, 32% from the three-point line, so a bit of a better shooter, right? But Reggie Perry's a dude that I would have liked to see develop. I mean, when we saw Gary Payton II, another guy that was tenured with the Raptors 905, grow, get some notoriety about him amongst players across the league. People are always talking about, this elite defender we have on our G League system, and then he gets picked up by another team, he moves to another G League location, gets called up to the Golden State Warriors, and ends up being a key piece to them winning an NBA championship. Now, am I saying that Reggie Perry could potentially be what was Gary Payton, like a near starter, a fringe starter for a championship level team? Probably not at this point in his career. Payton's more of an established vet and all that stuff, had a lot of years of developing, but I just don't like moving him away for a player. Sure, the three-point shot is something that we need in our Raptors organization. Maybe they didn't see potential for that. Maybe the 6'9" vision is dead, even though Reggie Perry's 6'8", but I don't know. I would have liked to see Reggie Perry stay within the system. I'm frustrated about it. I've been talking to Ventures with Smiles on our Raptors Digest Discord about it, and said I'd bring it up in a video. Be able to rant about it. Finally got an opportunity to it. But are people as shook up as I am about this, or is it inconsequential G League stuff? Let me know in the comment section below. The next thing we're taking a look at is the Toronto Raptors, a massive schedule update for the team, plus our ticket giveaway. So as we go on, I'll segue into our ticket giveaway, but the Toronto Raptors are coming up on the most important part of the season, because if you look at the standings as of right now, right, the Toronto Raptors, currently the 9th seed in the Eastern Conference, just ahead of the Washington Wizards, just ahead of the Chicago Bulls, a couple games ahead of the Bulls, or a game and a half, just one game up on the Washington Wizards, and we're very close to the Atlanta Hawks, getting closer to the Miami Heat as well. We've been losing some games as of late, and then the pipe dream, the hope is we can catch the New York Knicks or the Brooklyn Nets to get out of the play-in picture and avoid playing the Milwaukee Bucks and Boston Celtics at the top of the conference. So that's our goal with, 20-ish games left in the season, 20-plus games left in the season. So that's where the Raptors are currently situated. But if you look at our schedule coming up, the way to really establish ourselves as one of the upper tier play-in teams especially, and a bottom tier team that's fighting their way in, because the Wizards and Bulls have both been good this year. It's going to come out in the next couple games, as the Toronto Raptors face the Bulls tomorrow. They face the Wizards on back-to-back games, not back-to-back nights, but back-to-back games against Washington later this week. So these are 3 massive, enormous games for this team, because if you look at it ahead to later in the week, The Raptors face the Nuggets, the Clippers, the Lakers, the Nuggets again, the Thunder, the Timberwolves, and the Bucks. Obviously, these are 7 teams that are properly in the playoff picture. You make an argument OKC has kind of fallen out of it, but the Western Conference is split by a very thin margin, and all those teams have a reason to be playing, have a reason to win. They're motivated, and are very good teams out there in just the NBA in general. So the Raptors are going to need to really be able to. We're ahead of the Wizards. We should be able to beat the Wizards and Bulls and then give ourselves a little bit of a cushion given the fact we have a very tough road ahead of us in terms of the competition we face. Are the games on the road? It doesn't say according to this here, but I don't know. We had our big road trip a couple weeks ago, and now we have a big, massive test. And the first game of this test is against the Chicago Bulls, and we've been fortunate enough to partner with Coolbet over the past couple of months, and we had a big ticket giveaway for this game against the Chicago Bulls tomorrow night with the Coolbet logo covering it in the Scotiabank Arena in Toronto. So, Coolbet's been supporting the pod, and we're giving two free tickets to one person that it's signed up for Coolbet and used the link down below to sign up and enter their name into the giveaway. And that form is still going to be there, as I'll announce following. But congratulations to Zane Khan. I did a little random name generator before I recorded this video. You have won the 2 free tickets. I'll email you directly as well, but confirm before tomorrow morning that you want these tickets, you're able to claim them and all that sort of stuff, or else we'll do a second announcement tomorrow morning. I'll also make a community post for it, but congratulations to Zane Khan, and I'll email you literally after this video, but I hope you enjoy the game. Should be some fun stuff there. But the next thing we're taking a look at is the Raptors panic meter on Medium, according to Bleacher Report. Now, Bleacher Report always does these sort of interesting articles, interesting themes to give their takes on different teams across the league. I thought this was a little bit interesting for the Toronto Raptors, because you look at our subreddits, you look at our Twitter, we're either in a stalation, stoic state. We've won 7 of our last 8 games. We're chilling. Some fans are hyped. We acquired Jakob Poeltl. We're going to the ship. All that sort of stuff. So that's one end. And then after games like the game yesterday against the Cleveland Cavaliers, feels like the panic mode is maxed. We don't have our pick for next year, right? We're a treadmill situation. Where should we really be at? Well, Bleacher Report came out and gave their take on where the Raptors should sort of be feeling. And they say the Raptors are in medium panic mode. Right, they didn't lose their cool at the trade deadline, despite strong suspicions that they may trade as many as 4 starters to initiate a rebuild. And there's worse decisions than putting faith in the same cast of characters that won 48 games last season, even when that victory total seemed unrealistic early as November this year. Poeltl should shore up the shoddy interior defense that lacks size, and Fred VanVleet looked more like himself in January, which is definitely true. All the haters of Fred VanVleet aren't gonna like those comments, but then he did during his painfully slow start. All the length and versatility it defined for Toronto the last few years remains. With Brooklyn likely on the slide, the Atlanta Hawks still failing to find their form, and a few credible threats below in the play-in sector of the standings, the Toronto Raptors are likely to finish in the 7 through 10 range, and it wouldn't be a total shock if they heated up and then made a shot for the 6th seed. So it's not ideal after the last year's 5th place in the Eastern Conference, but the disaster potential of entirely missing the postseason now seems minimal. So Bleacher Report saying Toronto Raptors, the season hasn't been going as expected, but we're sort of in mid-level panic mode. So I'm sort of in that state right now as well. If we miss the play-in or we don't get into the playoffs, that'd be extremely disappointing, but things are on the right trajectory. Now, as said, I broke down that schedule. It's looking ugly there for 5 games. The schedule gets easier after this sort of stretch, this block of schedule I sort of brought up here, but we need to be able to take on some of the top teams in order to prove ourselves as a team that made the right decision at the trade deadline. But let me know how you guys are feeling, what you're ranking on the panic meter mode. But the final thing we're taking a look at is Siakam moving up the Raptors ranks. Now, Siakam's a guy that, given his longevity with the Toronto Raptors at this point, won a championship, grew as a little bench player, and now is the main guy, the number 1 option, and all that sort of stuff. Right, it's going to be getting some opportunities to lead this team in a lot of statistical categories, and it's coming from Vivek Jacob saying that Pascal Siakam's now moved ahead of Vince Carter for the sole possession of 7th on the Raptors' all-time assist list. He's got a couple hundred more to go to pass Alvin Williams and Damian Stoudemire next, But it's cool to see Pascal, especially power forward, kind of a big man, move his way up the assist ladder, especially with the way his playmaking has improved this season. So congratulations to Pascal. Passing Vince Carter on any Raptors striker, just a nice feat. But let me know what you guys think about all this Toronto Raptors news. You guys are the best for making this far. Congratulations to Zane for winning that giveaway. Shout out Bueno Kitty, go tier channel member, and appreciate all you guys for tuning in the vid. Anyways, I'm signing out.